Yeah, because right now I do have there's this giant lab document that's out there, so definitely if you're gonna be fighting Joker, that's gonna be a really good thing to look through. Um, wow, you even have a Spanish translation. Cover it's a frame data sheet, Joker terminology. Yeah, does it? Oh, Joker FAQ. I think this will have the answers we're looking for. How does Arsene work? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, there's also two ways that Arsene gets filled. It gets filled either by time or by damage as well, but most of the time, time is going to be the thing. So Arsene lasts for 30 seconds with no damage, and then if you take 0 damage, then it takes 3 minutes for him to come out. But obviously, that's never going to happen. He's going to get hit. And then whenever he loses his stock, he always comes back with 1/5 gauge. So that's good to know. Let's see. Doesn't really have much more besides that, so turn it up? Okay. Let me know how that is. So right now that is very loud for me. But I can do that. There we go. Is that better? Or is that too soft still? A little lower? Okay. Okay, how's that? We good? Smidge lower? Okay. There, that was my smidge lower. Okay. Oh, did I turn it too low? Because I always have to remember that my stream's a little bit behind from where I am. Okay, well, if I see another message, I'll bump it up. But yeah, my guess is it looks like Arsene adds like just a second hit to it. So we'll just go off of that. Yeah, smash attacks, I'm actually not too sure the difference here. Let's see. So it looks like with smash attacks, it's going to add a little bit of range. Yeah, so you get a little bit more vertical range. It looks like he goes slightly farther out too, because like this hitbox is coming. If you look at this hitbox here and you compare it to, if you compare it to the other F smash, the top of it just goes down here, whereas this one it stays up here and it doesn't get shorter as well. It just stays up here the entire time. So that gets improved slightly. This gets improved a lot. Just look at this right here. So yeah, basically you just get the bring up hitbox there, and then there's that. But with Arsene, you get a much bigger hitbox to work with. So basically you're just not missing. So it covers up everything. It lingers a lot more. So that gets better. He's just going to be able to anti-air more. And there's actually a little bit of a lingering hit there that the regular up smash doesn't have, if you look at that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it lingers up there for like 4 frames. So it just becomes a much better anti-air. Down smash, it doesn't look like it really changes too much. Let's double check though. Yeah, so on the first hit, because I think it actually keeps both. Yeah, so first hit changes. So first hit, you still have the down smash hitbox there, but it is a lot higher. Actually, it's even disjointed going above him, so he actually will be able to anti-air some things with that. So something to keep in mind, but honestly, you really shouldn't be worrying about down smash unless you're in tech situations. Yeah, so now this is the big part where Arsene comes into play. So, you know, neutral air, this is a good hitbox. Not really the most threatening thing in the world, but with Arsene, basically it just covers him now. So he kind of gets more of a core in there with that. It is actually much more fragile than I thought. Like, he could beat that out pretty easily. So fun facts, neutral air does not seem that scary to challenge, but he does hit in front of him twice. So actually, if you can keep track of what side Joker's on, behind him, you'll be able to hit him. It's just in front of him, he'll swing twice. Behind, that's a free hit. And he's stuck there for 54 frames. So with Arsene, you can't approach behind him. Without Arsene, you can definitely, if you're behind him, I would just throw an attack there. Now, forward air gets ridiculous. So first one, pretty accurate to his foot. You kind of need that in order for the multi-hit to really work properly. But when you get to Arsene, so he doesn't do anything to the first hit. First hit's still the same. But second hit, just look at that disjoint. It's dumb. That thing's even bigger than his up smash. Complete opposite of Nair. Oh, it's dumb. And then back air is also, another infamous one for Joker. So as you can see, this is a very good hitbox. It makes no sense, but it's only 2 frames. Very good. Decently strong. But with Arsene, this becomes even better. So instead of it being 2 parts, it's basically just one giant thing the entire time for 2 frames. So this is the reason why you die so many times. Not to mention that his disjoint starts at his at his forearm. So pretty much like everything halfway through is just a disjoint. So that's why that thing you can't challenge. Let's look at up air a little bit. Up air, not really too different with Arsene. So you got that. And then over here, it just changes on that final hit. Still very good hitboxes, that can lead to a lot of kill confirms and all that. And for some odd reason, it decides to be a little janky that way. But it's probably because people are falling out in that direction, if I had to guess. Another hitbox here, down air. That just sends sideways. With Arsene, you get a very nice meteor with it. But again, honestly, this hitbox is not what I thought it would be. So you do get the first hit to connect it into the dare over there, and then even covers his body, so he can kind of jump into you and do it as well. But it lasts for 2 frames, so it's nothing too crazy. And then you got a little bit to the side that you can still cover. But yeah, again, good hitbox. Definitely is more disjointed than what his regular down air is. It reaches, see, like, it's going to be there. So it's like you do get more distance than the dagger gives you. But again, not the only one that's really been ridiculous so far is like forward air and to a degree back air and then his dash attack. Like those are honestly the 3 biggest ones that change with Arsene. Okay, so gun is an interesting one. So from what I remember, this works like a physical hit. So that does have a pretty serious implication. So I can change it over to the game real quick. Not that one. That one. Okay. So from what I remember, if you do throw down a gunman, return. Let me see. I think he was able to shoot through that gunman. No, okay, yeah, he can't shoot through it. Oh, wait, he can. Okay, so he is able to damage you through the gunman, so that means it's just transcendent. How does the gun interact with Can? Can, from what I remember, from what I remember, it kind of, when you hit the Can, it's, actually it goes over. So he has to use hit 2 to send it, but because it's like a physical hit, okay, no, so it still counts as a projectile. So it's transcendent, but it's that same property. If you hit it twice, then it's just gonna anchor itself. So that's something that you can take advantage of at the very least. And because it doesn't do that much knockback, it's just gonna because it doesn't do that much knockback, it's not going to have that property where it just like stands still depending on how he's using it. However, I was gonna... Yeah, I wanted to see if it would just immediately anchor it. Let's try that again. So I think this should be an anchor. Okay, and now let me shoot it. Okay, now that's weird. So the bullet storm didn't anchor it, and then it didn't anchor it after that. Huh. Because, okay, so this anchors. Wait, no, now it's not anchoring. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so if it didn't anchor after 2 hits, then that means for sure... That means for sure it has to be... It doesn't have projectile properties, unless maybe it's only the far version. Let's try that. So... let's look at that hitbox again real quick. So... Once again, when you look at this, there's 3 different phases to it. So let's see exactly what it says. Okay, so... Interesting. Okay, so it doesn't say anything about the hitboxes themselves. This is here to show just the different strengths. So strongest, middle, weakest. So yeah. So what I think it is I think the hitboxes have different properties depending on. So that's too far. But that did an anchor cam. That was an anchor cam property right there. So far away. So far away, it definitely did have that. And then I think if I go close. Okay, now we get to do. Okay, so when you get Arsene, then that's gonna automatically do the... That's automatically gonna do the anchor can because it's doing like the triple shot there. At least this is what I can understand. But no, it didn't do it there. Okay. So to a degree, it also has to deal with the strength of it. So if I do this... Crap. Let's try to get the middle hitbox now. And now we're gonna do the close one. So I think if I do it with the closest one. Okay, so that's what it is. So the close hitbox are not projectile properties. The middle ones appear to be, or they may not be. So let's try here. Okay, yeah. So up close, that's a physical hitbox. That is not the projectile properties. They go far away. No, I'm too far away. Now let me hit it. Now that is a projectile property. So let's see if we can figure out what the distance is for that. So we'll start off at 5. Okay, so 5, it looks like we are still... What I can tell, I think we are still in the physical, so we're gonna go to like 7 now. Okay, so that's still sent to the right. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this should still go to the right if I jab it. Okay, cool, got that. Let's push him to 5. Let's put this just beyond 7. it still goes right. Okay. So 7 is too close. Put you at 8. Okay, so beyond 7, so we'll just say 8 units away, that's when the projectile properties come in. Before that, it's going to be a physical hit. No. That's very easy. So if you look at the hitbox, basically sometimes Joker is too tall, and then sometimes he's shooting lower. So that's the tall one, and then he goes low. So this is the hit. This is the hit that hits Can. He just ducks just enough for that to hit. See, up there. And then it goes slightly lower. That's the reason why I can hit the Can. So yeah, 8 units back, then that's when you're gonna get the projectile property. So this was an important change that we need to talk about. Jump gun. So this did get nerfed. However, you need to... Oh, wait. I just realized I didn't show off. Okay, let's look at this hitbox again because somebody was asking. I forgot to transition it. So the reason why that Joker hits with second hit is because he does this ducking animation from the standing one. And then he's low enough to hit the Can. That's what happens. Could I, like, your pings to bring the Can closer while Joker's shooting? No, so when you ping the Can and he's shooting it, it's gonna send it the other direction. As long as you're shooting above him, you can do it. But if you're pinging the Can where he's able to shoot, then that's not gonna work. But yeah, no, while you're on the ground, while this is still there, then there's no chance of that happening. But yeah, so basically this right here is 8 units. So he can... Oh, God, if that's the case, that means he can go like 16. How far does that go? Let's see. Can I still shoot that? I can. Okay. I should be able to shoot. So it's like... Okay, that's so weird. Because it's like at the very... It's like only the very end that it's doing that weird anchor can effect. Time pings? What do you mean by time pings? But yeah, no, the hitting, not hitting thing, there's not really too much you can do with that info. Something else I did want to bring up, which is the jumping guns. That. So, we'll look at the hitboxes again real quick. So when you do this on the ground, it looks like this. This is a very good hitbox. And there's also, when he does the jump, there's some intangibility at first. This you can't really challenge from below. However, it changes drastically now. Before, if a Joker was really good, they could just edge guard you with this, because it was like basically a giant shower they could follow you with and just drag you down to the ground. But now it's just a single. It's just like a single thing. So this is a lot easier to avoid now. So you don't really have to worry about this as much. However, this can still mess with Can very nicely. But as you can see, the re-hit rate isn't exactly great on it. I think there's like a slight variation when you have Arsene active with it. But yeah, definitely keep in mind, this is... The hitbox when he does the jump from the ground, still very good. But when you really need to worry about what he's going for the edge guard, that's when you have to worry. Because like this just does damage and just kind of changes the stage positioning. It's not really going to do too much else different from that. The main thing that Arsene changes, as you can see here, it really just changes the amount of times that it's doing the re-hit. And that's kind of it. The other thing that you do have too is from the air, you also have the one where he just kind of shoots around. This is kind of interesting to see though. When you look at this hitbox, notice the areas that he's missing. So if you look at it, he has no bullets that shoot directly below him and none that shoot directly above him. However, he does cover himself with these large hitboxes right here. But other than that, so if you look at this, hitbox disappears, hitbox. There's nothing vertical, so if you time it correctly, you can just actually hit him from above or below. It's going to be a little hard to do as duck hunt, though, because of the way of our hitboxes work. So I wouldn't really say that's reliable. And then, yeah, that's what that looks like when he's trying to edge guard you now. The big change that we have to talk about is Aha. So the angle for this move will change depending on if Arsene is there or not. And then when it hits the ground, it will do something, but it doesn't look like they show it here. Yeah, they don't have the flame effects here, because the flame effects on these are really, really good. So like with this one, it starts off higher and then it goes farther. So the angle on this one is very, very strange. This one's a little bit more normal, kind of like Arcfire, except actually I'd say like that one's like Arcfire. This one's like a taller Arcfire. It's kind of strange. And then of course this one, if it hits you, it's going to deal 12% to you over time. The grappling hook can do a lot of really cool combos off of that one. The only way you get around it is if you air dodge through it. Like you can't hit away or clank with it or anything like that. At least to my knowledge, I've never seen it done before. The other thing too that you need to keep in mind is Rebel's Guard. Rebel's Guard is very annoying. This is active frame 3, and then actually let me double check. Rebellion Guard. Yeah, so it's active frame 3, and then the counterattack, sometimes you can actually go around if you're doing like an aerial against it and you fall through a platform or something like that. But you know, he can hold this as long as he wants to. So basically, if you see it, if he's in the air, don't really challenge it. And there's still so if he presses down B, it's got to be used for 33 seconds, 33 frames, no matter what. But yeah, just the amount of gauge he's able to get off this thing's ridiculous. And considering that he can extend it and like not extend it whenever he wants, it's very annoying to deal with. And then also with this move, he does become invulnerable. The one that we got to fear more is Takarkam or Makarakam. Basically, it's a frame 4 counter, and it does increase the power of everything by quite a lot. So really, really, really good reflector. As you can see, this reflector attack hitbox is completely ridiculous. So if you ever go up to him and you try hitting him when he counters, you're getting hit no matter what, unless you ping with can. So actually, if you're trying to approach him at all, and if you throw a projectile at him, he's just going to reflect it. But so that's not as scary as dealing with that, but it's nonetheless very annoying. Yeah, so that's kind of an overview of his hitbox. We'll look a little bit more into the Rebellion Guard and kind of dealing with that. And then we'll also talk about something about his grabs and throws, because he actually does have some kind of neat things about that. What's up, Plague? And then, yeah, we'll kind of show how we can shimmy our way through all these things. Okay, transition time. So, first thing we'll talk about. Let's talk about the Rebellion Guard. There we go. Oh, wait. Yeah, it actually is. Okay, so I've actually never looked at the exact frame data on how laggy everything is with Rebellion Guard, and it didn't really look like UFD said anything about it. I imagine it's in this bank here. Let's see. Let's see what's on the lab results and resources. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is... Oh, okay, no, this is the fill gauge. I need descriptions about how it works. So the main thing that we really want to see with Rebellion Gauge is we want to see how long it takes. Yeah, so like the UFD for Rebellion Gauge is... It doesn't exactly have like... At least if it's worded weird, maybe that's what it is. Because like what I want to see is how long it takes for him to get out of this animation when he does it. So we're going to hold it, and now we're going to let go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Okay, cool. So that was it. So on UFD, if you ever need to know how long it takes him to recover from the Rebellion Gauge, it's 33 frames. So basically, if you do see him press it, he's going to be stuck in 33 frames or longer. The one part, actually, oh, it doesn't. I could have sworn that he... Okay, so the one time he can change up his momentum is if he cancels his fast fall animation with Rebellion Guard. So that's one thing to look out for, because like, I've always remembered seeing something like that. But if you do see this and he has to like land on a platform or something, just assume you can get a grab off of it. But the thing is, like, he can, you know, that's active frame 3. So sometimes what you're going to be doing is you're going to have a can there, and then he's just going to down B it so that way he can immediately fill his gauge. If you want to see exactly how much he gets off of it, I think it's like more than half. Let's try that again. Okay, so he gets half his gauge off of just taking one can. So, you know, you do have to be very careful about how you're doing it. So one of the things that you really want to do when you're in this matchup is see how often that they're using Rebellion Gauge. And then once you get the confirmation that they're trying to go for it often, then that's when you want to bait it out more. Specifically, let's see what it looks like when he gets... There we go. Now we're about to say. Alright, let's do this. No, that's not what I wanted. So the one thing I haven't really checked is what's the reflect angle that he gets off of it. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this. But now he needs. Okay. Jump. This did not work out the way I wanted it to. Oh! Okay, so it bounces high when you do that. Now let's try this. Okay. Please reflect. Okay, well that is good to know. So stops eating hits when the foot stops being blue. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, the other good thing to know. So I was kind of worried to see what this would look like in terms of being proactive against Can. But it looks like for the most part, it actually is going to have a... It actually is going to have a pretty difficult time dealing with it. At least knocking it back at you. As you saw, it does that pretty high angle up there. And then if you hit it from below, that's when it goes down. So if you can aim the can to hit the top of Joker, even if it has high gravity, because like one of them, I think we did like 4 or 5 hits to it, it knocked the can really, really high up. So if that's the case, then you'll just be able to kind of come from the front and then just take him that way. So the blue foot. Okay, that's good to know. Are you talking about Makarkon, or are you talking about just Rebel's Guard in general? Yeah, so no, so that's good to know, because like I was thinking that in particular it would be able to counter Can very nicely, but honestly it's pretty bad at countering Can, at least in terms of using it against you. So if you want to bait out Makarkon, aim that for the head, and then you'll actually be pretty good against it. And that's definitely one of our strongest things against him, because like that counter is normally absolutely amazing. But the fact that you can just use it to purely bait him out and not really have to worry about a hitbox, because, you know, if you look at it again, you know, there's not a hitbox that comes out from it. It's just the reflecting hitbox. So you don't have to deal with that at all. So if you time your approach correctly, you'll just come in, you'll do damage. If you activate the regular counter, then you're on your own there. That's reflecting every projectile around it too, so that thing's gigantic. Yeah, the other thing that I wanted to talk about too is, so as I mentioned, bullets. If you do the jumping bullets, then that hitbox is good. But if you do that one, wait. You know, now it's only directly below him, so at least that one, you'll be able to recover from that now. But of course, because he is so fast, and you know his back air does have a really good hitbox, he is able to like deal with Can very nicely. If he has Arsene, Fair's really good at dealing with Can as well. The other thing too is they might still use bullets to at least to knock Can away, and then they'll just jump back and recover that way. So they have a plethora of ways to deal with Can as they're recovering. So what you want to do is you want to use Can to defer him as much as possible before, so that way it's not near you and you can use it against you, because the guns will definitely deal with Can very well as you're just trying to recover with it. Let's see. What other things we should talk about? Let's briefly talk about tech situations with throws. So for Duck Hunt in particular, when he is at... Oh, fun facts about Duck Hunt. If you don't DI or you DI in against forward throw, Joker cannot force you into a tech situation. So that's good to know. And then even if you do any sort of DI, it's 0 from 12%. He can force a tech scenario on you, so you don't have to worry about forward throw. And actually, we don't have anything for back throw. So never mind. That's something we don't even have to talk about in this matchup. Good to know. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So that's everything that I can think of off the top of my head to talk about. So what we're going to do is we're going to transition over to the matches that we got prepared. So I mentioned earlier in the stream, unfortunately, there are not a lot of good updated VODs of this. Lucky enough, I was able to find this one. This is December 2019. Let's see, what are the other ones we got? We got a Nintendo one, but, you know, this is July. I think that was the most recent one he had. September for this Raido one. And then, you know, even this one's October. So this is the most recent example that we have on it. And I don't even... Let me double check, because I forget when the Joker nerf came in. Patch history 7.0, so I think that was the one that Byleth was added in. So that'd be November. So this one will have the patch. That one will not have the patch. Let me see. Byleth. So I think Byleth was... When was Byleth added? Wait, never mind. No, Byleth was January. Oh, God. Time's different. Time hits so different now. So all of these are pre-patch. We don't have a post-patch Joker match. That's depressing. So everything that you're going to see here is when this matchup was harder. Oh, 6.0 was Byleth update? Still though. Oh man. Yeah, no, none of these are 6.0 even. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with. So let's go over. We'll go over this one because I think this is probably the worst example of it. So low key, some shade at Guy. So Guy, if you're watching this for some reason, sorry, bud. Yeah. So Guy, he's been a Duck Hunt main for a very, very long time, like ever since the Smash 4 one. The main thing with Guy is he's always been a huge labber, but honestly, I've never seen him in Ultimate. I've only seen his Smash 4 Duck Hunt, and of course, he was a proficient Project M player way, 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 way back in the day. So I'm honestly kind of interested to see what he did with this. It was 7.0. Okay. I'm kind of interested to see what he did with this. 'Cause I have not seen this yet. But yeah, it's just like the big thing with him is like, focus too much on the tech, doesn't really tend to have good habits, at least in Ultimate and Smash 4. PM, he was definitely much more in his element there. Let's see what we got. So yeah, already messing with the can with the gun. Definitely not a bad thing to do. But now can is anchored. He could ping that back to him. Yeah, that was just a bad can pull. So yeah, something like that, he was trying to read the tech situation there, so it wasn't really a bad CP, and thankfully he didn't get punished for it. And yeah, he just missed his call out there. There, he didn't go for a ledge setup. Which, that's actually something you can kind of abuse against Joker. Is like, he doesn't exactly have the best ways to get on stage, but he's just very mobile. So you can cover attacks very well against him, but he is quick enough that if you aren't ready for the response, you can just get around. That was a good spot dodge. That should have taken it. So yeah, important things to know. General death percents, right there. What was he sitting at? That's when he died. 113. So yeah, if you're like at 110, you're basically at death percent. Oh yeah, bad CP. So that's the other thing too, is Joker has like a lot of properties where he can just kind of like maneuver his hurt box around things. So you do have to be very careful with when you do it. That was a really good response to Rebel's Guard right there. That's the other thing too, is you can drop can to just mess with. You can drop can to mess with the tether there, and that was just unfortunate. Yeah, I'm just getting a lot of just general errors from Guy right now. So that's okay. That's very good to know. As you know, up air is fairly lagless, so keep in mind if you do get another Joker that does this. When you do your up air, just immediately fast fall, wait for it to finish, and then just up air again to get a stock. And then there, he basically just wasted his Arsene. So that's very good to know. Okay. Yeah, so that's the other thing too about guns that can be annoying. Is so because his hurt box is on top of the can, and even if the can isn't moving, if he uses that gun, it's gonna go through and just blow you up immediately. So make sure you're avoiding your can when they're throwing that out. See, so That's a very powerful setup. So the funny thing that he could have done right there is, let's look at that again. Okay. So you're in full control of that clay pigeon, and the Rebel's Guard has to drop eventually no matter what. So what he could have done is just been ready, then popped it the second he got there, and then just like jumped and down aired him. He would have lived, but it's a power statement. There we go. Oh, that's too bad, yeah, because he could have easily like taken half of Arsene out with that combo. Actually, even the stock. Joker is not the heaviest character in the world. So this is important to talk about as well. When you're at so if he wants to just camp you out here like this, just leave that can there, and this is not getting around it. But don't approach, because like that hitbox goes like, I think the hitbox will even cover that platform right there. Which that was actually a smart thing he did. He did like a jump gunman. So if he placed it correctly, like I think if it was not orange gunman, it actually would have gone through and just shot him, and then he could have started in an opening there. Let's see what that killed at. So this is before max rage. 128. Okay, so that's early. So yeah, 110 to 130 range. That's when you're looking at death by Arsene. So, oh yeah, he could have killed there. That was a little unfortunate. He was ready for the layup there, but he just missed the can hit. So this is something that I'll say about Clay Pigeon. There's a lot of situations where like jokers like to jump. So something like this, if they're prone to shielding after they get hit by Clay Pigeon and they like to jump afterwards, this is super good for catching them. Especially if you have like the huge frame advantage that he does here. If you know they like to jump, just assume that if Clay Pigeon hits their shield, you're going to get a free opening off of that. Obviously, he didn't do that here. But that is a very Joker habit. Yeah, that's important to know too. If they do jump bullets at the correct height, they are able to get an aerial out before they land. So, you know, if you're at that percentage where they might be able to get a stock off of you, you got to be very careful. Make sure you also have your shield angling down too, because, you know, sometimes your shield can be little enough they might be able to poke you like at the top over here. Thankfully, he wasn't at that moment, but you do something to keep in mind. See, like there, he popped it too early. If you notice the other time before, he was really good at keeping his patience. And honestly, that was best case scenario too. So if you look at here, he only hit him with the reticle shot. So let's look. Which honestly, I do not know how that didn't explode on him, because his leg is... Oh, is that... Okay, so something I just learned. Wait, I just realized I haven't looked at you guys. Guns tend to go over can. Yeah, hit 2 hits can, but hit 3 doesn't. Yeah, the main thing with Rainstorm is just that he has very good mobility, so he can follow you fairly easily. Depending where he is will determine if you can really do anything about it or not. But, okay, so something I just realized. His leg's in the Z-axis. So that's the reason why you got the reticle hit right here. Oh my god. That's hilarious. I don't think that will screw us up too often because of the way our hitboxes are, but oh man, right there, we saw that in full effect. I think the reticle shots are just a 2D plane, so I think that's the reason why that worked like that. But future BS to look out for. But yeah, no, if he was just a little bit more patient. Though actually, Hold up. Doesn't he go invincible from Rebels Guard? Let me check that real quick. Oh god, you have to wait so far towards the end. Yeah, so I actually may not have been able to punish that. Oh yeah, you might be right. Yeah. Let's see, what percentage was he at? Okay, yeah. Cool. So yeah, now if you just hit him, if you hit him at 120 with F smash, he's dead. I love how strong that move is. Yeah, you have to be careful about bullets. Like, you know, they're... Remember, the duck is a hurt box, so it's a little bit hard to challenge that with up air. You need really precise timing on that. Oh, he was trying to end it all. Oh, he went high there. Like, he held down on up B because he wanted to convert off that can. Honestly, probably went a little bit. Yeah, he knows he's got anchor can ready. I'm surprised he didn't go for the gunman, but that was actually really good recognition on his part. If you look at the way that he played that last part, he was literally waiting for him to just come in before he went in for the attack. So that was really good. That was such a good awareness on Guy's part. And also, he stuck in that animation when he goes for that second shot as well. That was really well played. Yeah, good patience on Guy's part. No more Arsene, so exactly where you want to be. Yeah, you see, right there too. Guy was really smart. He's like waiting so hard for Logic to just do that jump there. He's so ready to convert. But yeah, you know, obviously didn't fall for it. Super unfortunate clay pigeon right there. Yeah, like back air will definitely kill him. We have no more air dodges. Funny thing is the can killed him there. He got just enough of a hitbox extension off of that. Yeah, of course F smash is going to be Joker's down tilt. It's multi-hit. And it's also the properties of the F smash itself. Like it just kind of beats out everything. Contribute to dodge tailing. Oh, okay. That's good to know. So yeah, if you guys can't see this in the VOD, Craig was just saying that if you use the dodges with Joker's guns, it adds to the scaling of all dodges, so basically it just makes it more vulnerable. That was a really good bait there. Yeah, I don't recommend doing that. So as you can see, down tilt's very good for getting around clay pigeon, so you do have to be very careful when you do it. It's just when he jumps in general, it maneuvers his hurt box really nicely to just get around it. Yeah, he had a pretty good setup there. Try to get the rebound off that can, but just slightly off the mark there. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, if you're ever unsure of where somebody's gonna go, like land on side to side of you, just go for down smash. It's still very strong. It'll get you the position you need. And sometimes people just don't know where they're gonna go, so they just mess up their DI and they die super early. And now Gunman's just gonna block that indefinitely. Yeah, try to get it there, but that roll's fairly long. Had the read, at least. No jump. Oh, that's too bad, because, like, honestly, that would be the most predictable thing for Joker to do with no jump. So something to keep in mind. If Joker has no jump, his best option to do generally is going to be... it's generally going to be the Rebels Guard, just because, like, it's going to absorb all attacks. So, of course, if you're a grappler, maybe he won't do that. But like against someone like Duck Hunt, like you're expecting projectiles, clay pigeons, any aerials to come after you. So one thing that might be favorable to do is just like, you know, get him to build up a little bit and then just go in for the aerial. But if not, just wait it out and just kill him. Because actually, yeah, so like let's say Joker is at like 100%, so it's ambiguous if up air will kill. Hit him with the can so he gets that damage. Wait for it to activate and then go hit him. Because remember, he still gets damage when you hit him during Rebels card. Let's see. Okay, that's good to know. Are there any stages you'd recommend? I haven't talked about stages yet. We'll go over that a little bit more later on. Those for the normal guns. Okay. Yeah, that's why I don't really recommend using clay pigeon in this matchup. It's just like there's too many instances where it's just gonna go right over Joker. But I would say that's more of just guy using very bad clay pigeons. He knows what to do when it hits like in the right situations, but he doesn't have like the ideal time to throw them out. And also with what he's been doing against like the guns, he should be like just kind of rolling in the direction you think he'll go. Oh, he's so close to getting that. Oh, that was annoying. The right idea there, but I pulled the trigger too early. Oh, it's done. The SD's coming too fast there. Yeah. Be less mobile overall. Yeah, you know, that's kind of a signature with the guy. Like, he commits way too hard in a lot of situations. Some interesting things, though. Like, where was it? I don't think this was intentional, but here. So, I think what he was actually trying to do, because guy is crazy enough to think of things like this. I think he purposely let out the clay pigeon there, because like clay pigeon summoned frame 1, get blown up by the can, so then that way he could follow off the clay pigeon. It just didn't exactly work out the way that he wanted it to. Yeah. Yeah, post that thing in culinary. I kind of want to see that cake. But yeah, no, that just didn't work out for him. So yeah, some interesting things to see there. Overall, that's not how you play the matchup. Like, he just so many Hail Marys. But for interesting tech, always watch Guy. Guy's always very interesting with what he comes up with. I need to hit him up more on the Discord. So after this, I think Sekai's Dago match will probably be the best example of what to do in the matchup. But let's check this out. So this was back in July, so a full year ago. Like, well, a little bit less than a year ago. But, you know, when Joker was still... Overall, the game was still very new. So let's see what it does. Of course, we're getting Nintendo here. One of the better Duck Hunt players we have in the States. So I'm kind of interested to see what he's done. I honestly haven't watched too much of him in this game. There we go. Papa Frank, I don't know who he is. So I don't know if he's like a proficient player in his area at all.
I think like top tier is like the top like 5 units or 5.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. All right, here we go.
But yeah, overall, we're only getting Pokemon Stadium, which overall, I'll tell you, like I think that's a fairly even stage.
A little bit there.
Like, I don't think really one character gets advantage of the other. It just makes it much easier to punish Rebels Guard with the height that they have.
You kind of have to do that when you're facing up against a disjoint like Joker's. Ooh, I like that, using the AHA to turn the cannon to his possession.
See, so one thing I should mention about Joker is because he does have like a lot of those multi-hits, like particularly Dash Attack 1, Clay Pigeon's actually not the worst thing to use. Also like things like F-Tilt as well, just because like it's like you can just kind of break yourself out of like a lot of random scenarios. And the other thing too is like, you know, you need to deal like, I think it's 8% to break Clay Pigeon. So
the not
reasons like that, you'll be able to do a lot.
And that counter there.
Let's look at that real quick.
not Rebel's Guard, but
So okay, so if you do aim clay pigeon from below, it's gonna come rocketing right back to you. But if you aim clay can high on the counter, then you don't have to worry about that. So below, bad. Above, you're good.
Guard, but the counter there.
And that counter there too. You know, using the can against Duckham right there.
Yeah, and for Nintendo too, this kind of looks a little tricky too because of Joker's side B there.
Right.
It kind of creates like it kind of messes up his spacing. I feel like he has to be really.
Yeah. So honestly, oh crap, I went way too far ahead.
He's very. Ooh, okay.
So I don't think anyone lost the stock yet.
Possessions.
Yeah.
The counter there.
Okay.
And that
Let's go from here. Because I kind of want to show you the ideal situation on how you want to use your gunman and can. Nintendo had it perfectly.
Joker's side B there. It kind of
Okay,
creates,
right
like,
here. So notice right here, Joker doesn't really have a way to hit Duck Hunt in this position right here, especially since he's doing guns. So he's going to throw out gunmen to control the ground over here, and then by the time Joker could even get to him, he'll be able to pop up a shield. So he's got an instant counter to that. Can's going to be controlling any area of him jumping up in these certain areas over here, so that's already covered and all that. So that is the prime situation that you want on this stage, and then like even things like Battlefield and whatnot too.
like it kind of messes
Like he pinged the can a little bit too early there, but like he actually had that jump path completely cut off if he just kept it. And for some odd reason, he decided to go for clay pigeon. That's not good. Because just 5 HP. Okay. All right. So yeah, I kept the same thing from Smash 4 then.
up his spacing. I feel like he has to be really aware of that so he doesn't get hit. And that extra damage, it does add up after a while too. Hey, going for the the clay pigeon chasing him down.
Yet again,
Oh yeah,
barely
went for a hard
avoided,
call out.
you know, kind of like ducking underneath it when it was running by him, flying above them.
Ooh, okay, I like that.
I like how he didn't chase because he knew that Nintendo was trying to bait it out to kind of like press the can to just knock it over that edge.
And then yeah, he actually did an aerial after.
Yeah, that's a hard hitbox to challenge in the down tilt. So if you're playing Joker in this instance, if Duck Hunt's in the air, down tilt's probably gonna be something you want to go for.
Taking away all that.
It's counterintuitive as it sounds.
Yeah, I feel like the gauge meter, the SP meter, goes up real fast for Joker. It's kind of scary how it sneaks up.
Ooh, gets a quick grab and throw combo.
Yeah, the good thing about at least recovering against Joker is he kind of gets like, besides like if you're recovering low, he can do double back air spam, but if you recover high, he kind of gets one chance to get an edge guard on you.
He has to play a little differently with this matchup, and I like that he's adjusting already. He's very, it feels like he's actually familiar with this. Okay, the clay pigeon and the up smash, that was pretty clean, good percent.
I like how he used the guns to kind of like knock the can away before he can get to it. But gets the
Ooh,
force
yeah,
out.
that was just a good call out on the Joker's part.
Was he at 90?
He got hit to 96, so he was probably like 80 or like
Oh,
maybe like
man.
high 70.
Yeah, now we're getting the CP spam. That's full panic mode.
Percent is basically like, oh my god, it is so.
I mean, hey,
solid.
we could see anything happen here though.
So that I don't like. So right here, Nintendo had a really good position.
And it's basically like, oh,
Are you sure for that now? I think about it. Yeah, I mean, I remember we posted everything about like gunman and clay pigeon, like in terms of like their health and all that. I guess the main thing would be what projectiles it's gonna go through and all that. I played so much that I sort of have all those memorized, but there's just like little instances where those might change. So like over here, so platform's controlled, stage is about to be controlled by Can. If he just stayed back there and just responded to wherever he tried to go, then he would have
Hey, we could
been able to take the stock very easily, but he went for a committal grab.
Like, you know, Duck Hunt is a zoner character, and he's basically at kill percent here. Just a clean can setup, and that, oh my god, that was almost it. I like how he had the can. He wanted that grab, and he
Yeah, that's really good positioning on that part too.
that he could throw him into the pan. Wait, what? How did he die?
he got canned.
Oh, okay, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, forward throw.
Waiting for that.
That was a good gunman too, because like that covered 2 tech scenarios there.
No strangers.
So he could have actually done like a free can setup if he wanted to.
Okay, yeah, the can going well, if it was a little more forward, he would have connected that.
Yeah.
It's too far back.
Ooh,
Down air?
there, and not gonna be quite enough. No,
Oh yeah, he could have actually done something a little bit crispier there, but he didn't believe.
Not only that, but Joker's up. He's insane. They're so good. Laggy, but really good.
I'm surprised he didn't get up attack there, because like when he does that into the can, like especially with down tilt. Oh, misinputs. That's the saddest misinput you could get. CPTSD.
I mean, I feel like that was a close game regardless, and we definitely see more out of
Okay. But yeah. So overall, well, let's talk a little bit about stages because I know one of you guys was asking about that. And remember, if you have any questions about the matchup, just ask them here so that way we can address them as we go. You know, generally speaking, you wouldn't assume Smashville to be a good stage to go for against this matchup just because, like, you know, Joker's really quick. He can get through things really nicely and all that. However, you can just kind of suffocate any options that he can go for once you get, like, that one hit in. And not to mention, it's very here you're able to get the double clay pigeon combos fairly easily across the entire stage. At least force into an edge guard scenario. So I think like if you're confident in your boxing abilities, like to just at least get that one single hit in, I think this is a good stage to go for. If you feel like you really need that time to set up, probably don't want to go here. But otherwise, I don't think this is a bad stage. I think this comes down more to just like player preference or just what you're capable of doing. If you're capable of like at least confident getting one hit in on here, you'll be fine on this stage. If you aren't, this would not be the stage to go to. Hurt boxes. No, his hurt box doesn't change. Yeah. Like Arsene is not a hurt box. Arsene just adds hit boxes. That's it. Hey, you should definitely sleep Plague. Sleep is good. Yeah, so here, you know, if you're not confident in going for the double, just go for those singles, and this is going to be very rough. But oh, that was a hot reversal right there.
Wait. I looked down and I saw like the back.
Let me double check though, because like those are much harder to get. That was like the Canna side reversal. I just kind of want to see where he was. Oh, okay. You know, this is something I did not think about, but something to keep in your Duck Hunt brains. So remember, can knockbacks dependent on the side that you go on. Let's bring it back a second. So if you know that you're gonna get a stage spike, which honestly here that was kind of ambiguous until we got that low. So Can's going to send you to the left. So if you're like at that low percentage, you'll be sent here. If they're like double your percentage, they'll bounce off and they should be in a really good area to be intercepted by a back air. So Can side strat. Remember that.
Oh, no.
Because like he had frame advantage there and everything.
Wait. I looked down and I saw like the back air connect and he died.
So he threw out the can and the can sent him out behind
Why
it.
did I miss that?
Yeah. So he threw out the can because the can like comes out like frame 1, and then he threw out a back air.
And remember, this is all pre-patch Joker, so the damage that you're seeing to Arsene is not accurate to what it is now.
No, it's coming out.
He was like, okay, I lost that first game. Like, I need to really turn it up if I want to keep this winner stock alive.
Oh, he tried to go for the Husky.
A little more aggressive than he was, and that's kind of paying off in his favor for this particular game. Okay, yep, gonna get that tech there, knowing that he's gonna want that back air there. Oh.
Yeah. I think he actually could have air dodged and lived that one.
Alright, yeah, Papa Frank actually a little scared, it looks like, ever since that he took that first stock.
Really good timing on that grab there.
Looking a little scared, kind of playing defense.
Yeah, like you should you also need to get yourself to a point where like every grab, if you have Can covering you, every grab should not hit you at all. That's fine. Always remember, if it's an instance where you know Can's just gonna kill them and it has like no bearings on your personal well-being, just go for it. Oh,
There he goes for that.
this is interesting. So remember Rebel's Guard intangibility that lasts for 14 frames. If he lets go of Rebel's Guard, you can just automatically press the B button because Clay Pigeon particles last for like about 23 frames or 30. It was 23 or 30 frames. So you'll always be able to get a Clay Pigeon hit on it and then convert off of it. So that's good to know. See, like, look, he let go and that still went through.
Like the Clay Pigeon into down air he goes for that setup again.
I mean, at least he got rebellion.
But still, as you saw, that did a lot of damage.
But you know what? Like, it doesn't matter if you don't kill him with it.
Good nair onto the stage there.
Ooh,
Very good conversion off of that.
off of the can and gets
Yeah,
the
that
drag
was a
on
very
the
bad
board.
clay pigeon.
Not gonna find it, but it gets
Oh,
the forward
wow.
smash, and that
Good
would be
effort.
it.
That I need to highlight. Joker's able to space out very, very nicely on shield. So for the most part, if he's hitting your shield, unless it's a very, very hitbox that obviously is drifting into you, just assuming you're not going to punish it on shield. Actually, let's quickly go over how safe he is on shield, because I just realized that was something we didn't talk about. Down air is -7, so you're not punishing that with the grab. Up air, you're not getting hit with that. Back air is -5, so not happening. Forward air is -10, -9, and then neutral air is -5. So forward air is if he's really dumb, he's getting punished. He's getting shield grab for that. But otherwise, you're not shield grabbing Joker. You are not if Joker is hitting your shield and you did not parry it, you are not punishing him. Just keep that in mind. Very important to know. Very, very important to know.
Not gonna find it, but it gets
Oh,
the forward
wow.
smash, and that would
Good
be
F smash
it.
coming out from Papa Frank there. That killed so early, and it was out across. It was like mid-stage too. Not even. It was towards the left. That move was so powerful.
Oh, you
Wow.
That's always the funniest thing when they drop shield on F smash.
That's fortunate for Papa Frank right there.
Okay, that was a lot faster, and I feel that was a lot more.
But yeah, like overall, that's the nice thing about this matchup. Like, if you think about it, like fighting Sheik in a lot of ways, you are just going to be able to kind of control where he's going to go. You're going to be able to punish those options as well. Of course, just think about it with Sheik without needles and a tether recovery, and then an up B that you can just intercept, and then you'll be able to deal with him pretty well in the neutral. It's just obviously trades are very different, especially Arsene and no Arsene. And then just like knowing how to punish that counter. Those are kind of the main things that you want to focus on when fighting him, at least in the neutral aspect.
There. He also had the stage counter pick.
Like, it's a lot of good of trapping where he can go and then anticipations of his next moves.
Follow-up
Those are the main things you can focus on.
setups because there's no middle ground platform. There's just two on the edge there, and usually players are playing more centered focus.
But yeah, as you kind of saw, by going to that smaller stage, he was able to get like that huge lead in the beginning, and then just he didn't give it up there.
Man, yeah.
That was a really good drop through there.
Game 3. Excited to see
Not sure
how
why I
this
grabbed.
goes.
I like that little stuff from Papa Frank. Waiting to see what is your defensive option.
So if he was confident in the, I think he detonated that clay pigeon too early, but if he waited, he actually could have killed him with a clay pigeon loop across the entire stage.
It's like the fact that it confirms that percentage.
Oh, that.
Oh my god.
Just look at that hitbox. It's so dumb.
The fact that it confirms that percentage.
Oh my! I need you to appreciate how stupid this hitbox is. So the can is all the way back there, and the counter still hits. Oh, I love game design.
Oh my god, the knockback.
Oh, gets the bear, but that could be it. No, he's gonna die for that because he doesn't have a double jump.
Yeah, it would have been really risky to try and hit him there. So he got lucky there.
Delayed wow. Wow.
Wow, incredible.
Oh man. No, this match this is actually a really good set. Oh, the up. I like how he dragged him down with the up B that little.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like without Arsene, it still can be pretty tricky for him to get it outside of edge guarding because he's got to be pretty specific with how he chooses his places. And then if he doesn't get the aerial confirms into like the platform kills or to like the drag down down smash, it can be kind of hard.
He had a really
I don't think like the drag down smash is really the hardest thing to get.
Gonna get hit by the
Oh,
last
the
one,
Husky.
down smash, and you know what? Here comes the can off from above, but just gonna barely avoid it.
This is time for Papa Frank to definitely get this.
Yeah.
stock.
I'm pretty sure Clay Pigeon's gonna do it there. I wish he panicked down smash. Panic down smash would have caught him.
I mean, down to that like 160, yeah, that'll kill.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he was at a high percent, but still, it was like an like. You
odd
don't see that.
percent,
Yeah, an awkward killing option. But all right, Arsene gone already.
But yeah, see, this is the thing. Like,
You know, 160.
the options that Nintendo's doing, like the clay pigeons, where he's placing the can exactly, is very good at fighting a grounded Joker because there's not too much he's going to be doing to get around that with the way that he's controlling space there. So, like, really watch your Joker players and see how they like to maneuver. Goal one should be if of course they like to jump a lot, try to dissuade them as much as possible with those cans and just be able to punish the follow-ups after that. And then when you get them on the ground, that's when you can be way more confident in those clay pigeons actually landing. Ooh, that was bad. That was a very bad clay pigeon. Don't do that one.
No, I liked how he kind of like stepped forward with that gun and then used the jump.
Yeah, he was very off on that reaction there.
Oh, how did the can miss there? The Joker is such a small character, too. I feel like Duck Hunt's almost like bigger than Joker. Like side by side, if you're looking at it, a dog is almost bigger than a.
Yeah, he was just going for, please don't kill me.
Like 17.
Yeah. Okay, down tilt pushing the can a little back. Good awareness. Papa Frank shielding that. Okay, that up tilt too. That up tilt's super strong. I like that he went.
Yeah, that you also have to keep in mind how long that up tilt lasts.
Oh, I like that using
Oh yes, that one was hard to cover. He could have jumped nared, but yeah, that was a scary position. Just looking at, let's look at that counter again.
Nintendo's just gonna hold shield.
See, like, look at that. So it's like he can kind of halt his momentum right there, and then he's coming down with the hitbox as well. So it's like here. Then he lets go. Like, he could have up tilted. He could have up smashed. Up smash might have been a little bit late because, you know, hit 3 is going to be hitting. Let me see what frame that is exactly. If you do up smash, up tilt would have definitely hit. Up smash hit 3 would have been frame 28. So that would have been a little bit too risky.
Oh, I like that.
But like I think like short hop nair would have been a good response.
Pushed up the can and wanted to up tilt it up so it would connect.
Oh, unfortunately,
Play
gonna get
pigeon?
incumbent.
Oh, he didn't go for the back air. Okay, well, he still got it.
Defensive option right there.
Missed the first up air, but ended up connecting it again there.
Oh my god, he wanted to end the stock and the set right there with that dare. But you know what?
Imagine if that actually connected. Man.
Yeah, he wasn't ready for that.
The roll right there, not gonna be
Like that's one thing I have to say. Like that at least I can point out between Guy and Nintendo. Guy was like his situational awareness around clay pigeon is a lot better than Nintendo's so far. It's just Nintendo's much better at like playing the neutral, getting those openings and closing out.
It's nice to have him at like low percents, but like
Ah,
high percents where you
if he charged that, that would have ended him.
I like, yeah, Papa Frank recognized that too. The clay pigeon there into the forward smash, and he ended up.
Nair up air actually would have killed him.
Nice that at the mid 50%. That's what Nintendo's been going for.
gets
Oh,
hit by
the gunman! Wait! He just dropped it down at the. Oh my god.
Okay, so he gave up the entire advantage that he had there, but good cleanup there.
Wow.
That's something you should remember off of Nair. If they miss their tech, down smash will it hits on the ground, so you'll be able to kill off of that. So good thing to do there. And also just because like the way the hurt box manipulation works with Joker, that might be something that you want to go for more often than not. With Dare? Yeah, you can do that. I'll show you, you know what? Since you're talking about that, let me show you a nice little option that you can do to counter that real fast. I forget exactly how long this lasts for, but if you do can at the ledge and you do short hop dare, this lasts for a ridiculously long time. First of all, know your spacing for this because that's very important. Okay, I'm a little bit off. There we go. Okay, so if you do short hop dare like that, that makes that thing last for like 20 frames. It's ridiculously good. So you're going to catch Joker and you're going to hit him with that. The other one that you can do too is just do this, and then just land off stage like that. The important thing is just making sure you're getting that down air hitbox right there, and you want that to hit the can. So. Like I think the short hop variation is the best way to do it because you get 2 of that. Oh, down angle forward tilt. I don't think so. I have to look at his... Let me check his ledge data real quick. That's the nice thing about UFD, that also does have the ledge hang data. That's a throw. So you could definitely hit... You could hit his arm. Let me see if I can show that off real quick, so I'm at the right position for that. Yeah. So your answer to that, definitely a yes, but once you get your positioning down for it, then I would say that'd be pretty confident you can do it for. Yeah, some ledge hangs you're not going to be able to hit. Once again, let me do this real quick. Short little lesson about down-angled F-tilt. You cannot be directly at the ledge. So, for example, here, notice how far back I am. I'm about 1.5 units away. That little golden part that you see there, that is what's hitting the... That's what's hitting the ledge. So if you go too close, now notice where it's going. There's no hitbox right at the ledge, so you're going to completely miss them. So you need to make sure that you have it timed perfectly. That works on Ganon? Okay, that means you can do that. You're talking about this, right? Like this, and then facing this way? Is that what you mean, Wiz? Like this, and then up smash. See, that's the LYC trick. That one's hot if you land it. Okay, yeah. I know LYC has a video on that one, so I would definitely direct people there. But okay, before do that, let's talk about this next set. Yeah, I haven't practiced it myself because I haven't been playing Ducket as much, but once I do, I'll definitely gonna get that one. Like one video I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna do one on the Chori ledge trap with King K roll. Basically, there's a ledge trap you can do with Crown that will literally cover every single object. It's really dumb, but it's the timing and the precision for that thing is really, really hard to get. But it's fantastic. Yeah, so let's talk about this next set. It's gonna be a Raito set. So historically, Raito, he did good against Joker very, very early on in the metagame. But then Joker players kind of got better, and then he started doing worse. But he hasn't fought a Joker in a very long time, so I imagine he's lapped out a lot more since then. Like I feel like it kind of comes down to this is when Raito gets panicked, he doesn't really have the best recovery out of the duck hunts, and I think because of that, a lot of Jokers are just able to get a lot of really easy kills on him. Yeah. All those ledge things that come from LYC. Yeah, if you like follow him, he's the one doing the most on that. Yeah, I mean, if you guys are ever interested in a whole directory of duck hunts you can follow, I pretty much know all of them. But LYC by far out of all of them does the most amount of work on the laving. Like none of them even come close to the amount of things that he does. But yeah, so like historically, Raito hasn't done well against Jokers, and I forget exactly how this one goes. Oh, it's actually Rain. I didn't realize that. So he's fighting one of the Japanese duck hunts. This is actually a Korean tournament. This is a big deal for them. This is the first big Smash major that they got to do. So that was definitely neat. I remember watching this live, but it has been a while since I've seen this, so let's see what happens exactly. And remember, this is pre-patch Jokers. This is not post-patch. So this is the hardest ever was. Over that a little bit. But yeah, so you see here, he decided to strike to Smashville. Again, what I said before, if you're confident in your up-close abilities, I think this is a fairly good stage to get to. And then the other thing that I want to point out immediately, so we're watching a bunch of Jokers before, but like I consider those like from what I could tell like moderate level Jokers. This is a high level Joker. You can just tell just by his conversions alone, much better. I mean, it's Rain. Rain's an amazing player. So that's where the difference like it shows immediately.
그리고 이제 라이터 선수가 좀 많이 힘들어하는 게 저거 이제 셋업 들을까봐도 저거가 아래기만 쓰면 이게 다 파괴가 돼요. 그렇죠? 그냥 이렇게 막 머리만 치면 꽂을 수 있습니다. 그렇죠. 머리에 힐 나르세요. 와.
Yeah, like that the gun step back here is so annoying to deal with. Like you could throw a clay pigeon at it, but like you have to see pretty far ahead for that to work. That's scary to know. So if you whiff, so tell this to you, ingrain this into yourself. If you whiff a grab at 90, you could just die to an F smash, and that's without Arsene. So with Arsene, that's gonna kill even earlier. So be very, very wary of how you're trying to punish down tilt. So a little thing we'll talk about right here. This is a very nice thing I hadn't really considered much before. This is a very cute little ledge trap. I mean a platform trap. So you have two options here. You can either up air to platform or just like empty hop and then wait for him. Or you could do what Raito just did right here. Bear can and then go up from there. So then that way he's able to, what I would do in this position. So Can's going to cover platform side. It's also going to cover stage drop. So over here with Duck Hunt, you should be ready to cover every option on this side, which he does. There we go. That's just textbook Duck Hunt stuff, which I just know like a lot of lower level Duck Hunts don't really understand that. Yeah, if he hit all three hits, that would have killed. Ooh, yeah, see? So, like, those are all things that you need to be careful of. So it's like, over here? Yeah, over here he was in a really good position. Wait, no, not that. That was that. I went far way too far. Hold up. So yeah, he gets the hit here, F tilt. Okay, yeah, over here he was in a really good position. So this is the reason why like all this stuff is super important with Duck Hunt is like getting your stage positioning set up, because like right after this, okay, this is not a high quality. This is 720p. Oh god. So right here he could have short hop canned, so that way he would at least would have had this covered, and then just been ready to punish like any attack that he would have followed up with like right afterwards by just falling down there. But so he just gets countered. So like in this case, he does that, counter comes out, then he could just like jump back air. Yeah, when Jokers know how to jump around your shield very well, that gets very scary. Yeah. It's one thing to do Joker fair more than rely on very. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think with like your projectiles, you got to be very smart. Yeah. Yeah, because I got his other areas are fairly committal. Yeah, at least he got the. Yeah, if you're able to hit Joker with Nair and you're able to go underneath the stage, that's ideal. Because like if there was any stage he could have lived that on, it would have been Smashville. But like if you're doing that on like Town and City or something like that, they're just kind of screwed. So Pokemon Stadium too. Pokemon Stadium has a very precarious like understage look to it.
이 맵은 아무래도 라이트 선수가 고르는 것 같은 게 사실은 거대한 저 플랫폼 있잖아요. 저기에 레인 좀 써도 레인이 플랫폼을 막아주거든요. 그렇죠. 저 가운데 방공호가 있어요. 약간 부산 레인 쪽을 막아주는 부산.
So let's talk about some other quick duck hunt concepts right now. If you're able to get a gunman out before like they're able to really like get anything started, remember that your gunman is always going to be a wall that will cover things. So in a situation like this, if you think your opponent is going to run in and you want your can to just go here, you're playing with the idea that something is going to make it blow up on the gunman there. So just think of that as like an explosion will happen here at some point. Oh, that sucks. 37. The Joker is one of those characters that you want to fight using down tilt, just because that low profiling does help you get around a bunch of his things. That's the other thing too about Joker is watch how he's drifting. So let's say, okay, so Joker was facing to the right in this case. If he drifts in front of you and he's like going head to head facing each other, then he is not going to land with an aerial. Like Fair's not coming out. So what frame is Fair? Fair is frame. So, okay, so back air and Fair are both like frame 7. But the way that Fair works, like, Fair one's not going to do anything. And that's all he can land with, where back air is actually going to be a kill. So if he's going in front of you, he's not going to land with a Fair. It's if he drifts behind you and his back is towards you, that's when you should expect the bear to come out. And that's off of bullets. He can't get a Nair out. Nair's too slow. Like Nair's frame 12 and it starts above and behind him. So this is excellent positioning from Raito the entire time. So you might be confused why he's keeping this can back here the entire time. So it's because of this. So if Rain decided to go up there, he can ping can above him, goes behind, depending on what attack he does, so we'll determine if that's good or not. But like now that he's got this situation, so Gunman's going to cover this. He can cover this area too, and then Can's got everything behind him and the platform. So this is super good positioning on this stage. And now he's sandwiched. Like, oh, look how much like Rain cannot do right here. So like, okay, obviously he could punish that. But like he goes for like the jab instead. He spot dodged, so that would have beat out a lot of things. And while that can is coming right behind him, like that was sandwiched. And then the fact that it started blinking, that means if he touched it, he would have blown up too. Just a really good setup by Raito. Yeah. The thing is, like, it has to be a drag down. It's not the pop-up. But I'm not too familiar with all the confirms that he gets off of. If there are any Joker players in here, Plague, if you're in here, I think you're gone now because you said you're going to sleep. If you're in here, let me know about the confirms that he can get off of Fair 1. Because I know he can do Fair 1 drag down to... I forget if it's Fair 1 or if it's up air drag down to down smash. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, because like, he's not the fastest character in the world with it. Like, let's check. Let me check air acceleration real fast on UFD. So, stats. If we look at airspeed, Duck Hunt is 1.5155. Joker. Yeah, so we're actually a lot faster than Joker in the air. Joker's at 1.1, we're 1.15. So like we can outspeed him in that regard. Joker's got a really good fall speed. Gravity's really good on Joker too. But his air acceleration Wait. Is he not in air acceleration? What the? Wait, how does he have not... Joker's not in air acceleration. Yeah, Joker has no air acceleration stat in here. What? Why? Oh well. Well, that's a short-sightedness of UFD then. So I can't check that for some reason. But otherwise, yeah, we're faster than him in there. That's kind of the most important thing. That's the takeaway. So you can fare him from the side if he's doing rainstorm. That was a call out. Nothing to it. Nothing other than that. So like down smash. Down smash is frame 12. So like you have to, he has to read you if he's gonna hit you with that at the ledge. So this is actually the first time we see Town and City in this matchup. So that one's gonna obviously give you a lot more room to play with. So overall, like I think again that comes down to player preference. Of course, if you're at the ledge, you're gonna kill him off the side a lot quicker. So that can be really good for like something like F smash. But other than that, you know, you're not gonna die off the top to Arsene, but that means it's gonna be a lot harder to kill him. Overall, I would say this is probably a better stage for Duck Hunt than it is for Joker. But you know, there are trade-offs to going to this stage. And, you know, getting more time to be able to set up is never going to be a bad thing for Duck Hunt. Oh! That was very cute. Hold up, what percentage was that at? Because that was the old Smash 4 setup right there. How many pings was that? One? Oh, okay. So if you get him at like 53%, fair, you can do fair can up there. Oh, that's so cute. You remember that from Smash 4? This is from July. Oh, no, September of last year. So this is pre-patch Joker. Oh, that was sad. He had that. He had it. Let me see how that up air landed, though. Okay, so this is the start of the move. So I haven't really looked at this in slow motion ever. Oh, I see. Okay, so this is what happened. So the first hit connected, he drifted forward, and then hit 2 missed, so he was able to get the air dodge out before. And then, oh, he even did that to maneuver it. Yeah, so like the main thing you always want to keep in mind with up airs, like it's going to keep them in place. So if you drift, then you're going to miss. So you want to be as steady as you possibly can with that. Yeah, fair. So full hop can to fair was a really, really good setup in Smash 4. This game, it's a little bit different to get consistently. But it's at least good to know 1% window where it works. And also just the coverage isn't as good as it was in Smash 4.
자, 왜요?
That was a good save there.
해피로 좀 모멘텀을 없애주게 좋은 선택이었어요. 앞에 질렀지만 그러지 않았고요. 자, 캐 한번 깔아주고. 그렇죠. 자, 포워드 핀.
Yeah, that's good. He didn't panic there. Just went for F tilt. Honestly, he could have gone for up smash too.
이거 퍼센트 점점 쌓여가는데요. 이거 캐넬 통합 콤보가 이번에 잘 먹히고 있어요. 그렇죠. 와, 지금 확실히 맵이
Oh, he didn't set up.
저 라이트 선수의 벽화수가 지금 스테이지 점유율을 진짜 깔끔하고 참 깔끔하다 그래.
Yeah, this was super smart. Let's break this down. I never did the shield can video, so consider this a little bit of shield can video for you guys. Okay, so right here, Joker Fair 1 does not kill gunmen, so he cannot go backwards. If he goes backwards, he's going to get hit by gunmen. If he jumps, can cover that. But this is the smart thing. Can is going this way. It is not going that way. So if he jumps, he can jump back to be safe over here. If he jumps forward, Can's going to follow him. So what he does is he rolls. Red is still safe, and he's like, okay, I still can shield can this, and then that's exactly what he does. So one way that players shield can. It's just very good.
역시 이제 플랫폼이 넓다 보니까 이제 놀 수 있는 판이 많은 거죠. 덕후 입장에서. 그렇죠. 저
I appreciate the taunt.
야옹이 나왔어요.
So yeah, whenever I see good usage of shield can or just like can play, I'm just gonna point it out because like I always feel like can is like one of the hardest things to understand how to use effectively, and I feel like you'll only really know how to do it if you have like years of experience and just like maybe not years of experience, but just like understanding how to look at it in various situations. So the more experience you have, the better you're going to be able to use your can.
비슷한데 지금 아르센이 먼저 레이 선수가 나왔고 이거를 못 있으면 아르센이 떠져요. 그렇게 된다면은 다시 한번 라이트 선수가 좀더 이득을 보는 거죠. 그렇죠. 이득을 가져갈 수 있다. 그리고 아까부터 레이 선수
This was really good. Let's talk about the spacing right here.
이득을 보는 거죠. 그렇죠. 이득을 가져갈 수 있다.
Okay, so right here, he's going to go for a can. So over here, because he's committed to the nair, he has to drop to the ground and land. So right here, he is effectively cut off every single jump option. If he runs into him, he can dash back, pivot grab, throw into the can. He can even jump and like do a fair himself. So in this case, he just does, yeah, he's ready to intercept with fair. Like that was all said and done there. So retreat back options are covered. He could go in the air, potentially try to go to air. The jump back will cover, if he goes for a fair, he should be out of range to just be there and punish it. Of course, he did the down tilt there. If he rolled, spot dodge, he'd be able to just go in and punish and have like frame advantage over it. And then there, he just does the drop down grab. So textbook duck and stuff right there.
아래 필살기를 많이 사용을 안 해요. 생각보다. 무슨 아래 필살기 한 번도 사용 안 한 것 같은데. 딱 한 번. 그렇죠? 마가라칸. 딱 한 번. 네, 그거 근거리 반사. 네, 근거리 반사는
Oh yeah, see, so whenever you do clay pigeon against shield, you always want to hold.
그거 근거리 반사.
So like in this case, actually, I'm surprised that he was able to get that one. Oh man, yes. Just to show you how good his hitbox shift is. So there is a pellet right here, but because Joker ducks so low in order to get around it, he was actually able to avoid the hit until he got grabbed, where he, when he did the immediate throw and armored. So if he did a pummel, he would have been broken out of it by the clay pigeon. So that was actually a pretty good detonation timing. It's just that Rain was ready for it. However, I think in a situation like this, holding it and waiting for the throw to be done would have probably been the best situation to do. Generally, the longer you hold it, the more you'll be able to protect yourself. And in a situation like that, that would have been entirely true, because like now he's going to be able to get frame advantage and go in and punish him, where versus Raito held onto it, detonated it, neutral would have been reset. Yeah, lucky there. I think there was an anchor can in play. Let me see. Yeah, so this, I don't know how exactly to explain this. This interaction I will call weird anchor can. So he hit it, it went no there, and then Raito pinged it. See, like, yeah, that's what happened. I really don't know how to explain that one, but it's just that was just unfortunate for Rain. Rain didn't really do anything wrong there.
자, 캠 날라가지고 이거 아마 잡아가지고 저기로 던지려는 생각 같은데. 자, 다른 생각. 자,
Like multi-hits just do some weird things to Can.
아르센이 나왔는데 이번에는 라이트 선수가 역공을 좀 빨리 넣어줘야 돼요. 아르센을 일단 체력 빨리 해줘야 되는데 이거는
I remember this set now. I remember that SD was so bad, but you know he at least kept it. He at least kept it in.
지금 이 상황에서 라이트 선수가 정말 중요해요. 만약 여기 지게 된다면은 이거는 진짜 정말 놀라워요. 아 이런 미리만 들었어도 내가 이기는 거고. 꿈에서 침대에서 이제 미를 봤는데 갑자기 족보가 총 쏘면서 떨어지고 있죠. 그래서 지금 침대에서 악몽이죠 악몽. 이불에다 미빗을 박죠.
Yeah, see, just doing some more neutral there. Yeah, like when Joker whiffs F tilt, if you aren't ready to punish it, don't go ahead and try to punish it just because he goes back so far. But yeah, like seeing like something like there with like the guns he could have been for the side, try to punish it with fair. Yeah. Fortunately, he didn't really have the positioning to go for like the death combo on here, but the back air's good. Yeah, so that was really good. Something that you guys should practice if you get the chance to. Practice shield poking, because like Raito could have very easily killed him if he didn't do the fast fall right here. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Gunman's a pretty good response to the rainstorm as well, just because you can just cover all the landings that he can possibly go for. Yeah, it's too bad. He just wasn't ready to get the follow-up there. Something to remember when you are going for bear can, and they are... I think I went back too far. I mean, not far enough. Yeah, right here. So let's look at what he's covering here. So with bear can, the can is going to be able to cover all these directions over here. And it doesn't matter, like, as long as can is on top of him, if it hits him, he dies. So in this instance, you want to go actually cover the other side. You want to cover the left-hand side. But unfortunately, Raito doesn't really do that. Yeah, that was just everything about all those interactions are just so unfortunate right there. Like, what did he die from the bear? I think he died off the can. Let me see. Yeah, he died off the can. It sucks. Yeah, it was like the most unfortunate set in the world. That was pretty much how that one went down. But yeah, no, it's like when you give Joker just like a little inch with our side, it can do so much. So like pretty much the only thing he had done is like hopefully DI'd a little bit better to survive it. Like I think he could have lived if he DI'd in a little bit more, which he probably did. Yeah, that's what that comes down to. Because like most of the time he would not have died. It's just also it's just the fact of it being Town and City, so the horizontal blast zones are a lot closer to the edge of the stage there. So real quick before I get into the last set, I'm going to just get some water. So I'll be right back with you guys in a moment. All right, we're back. All right, ocean polluter. See you in a bit. Don't pollute the ocean, by the way. That's a very bad thing to do. But yeah, no, I mean that just kind of shows the comeback factor in the matchup. So you know, always something to keep in mind whenever you're playing the matchup. It's just whenever Arsene comes out, got to play as safe as you possibly can. As you saw, he got. I think that fair that sent him so far away. I think he was running away, so I think DI out was the reason why he got sent that far. At this moment. Yeah, like I think Rhino was running away, so that's the reason why he got sent that far. If he was holding in, I think he probably would have ended up somewhere right here, so he would have been in a much better position. But yeah, that's just kind of what happened right there. So yeah, just be on your toes. Be ready, have those setups. Rhino's not always like going for those setups in like perfect situations, which you kind of need to be when you're fighting somebody like Joker. And just being able to position around and just whip punish him. Those are all important. Now we're going to get to the final one. Sekai Dago versus Cross. So this is Grand Finals this tournament, so both I'm assuming going to be very, very good players. Sekai Dago is. Cross I've never watched before. Or maybe I have, I just didn't know it was him. So I'm definitely interested to see what differences that he's going to bring out. Because Sekai Dago's a very, very good all-around duck hunt. Like, I wouldn't say he's the best at anything, but he's very, very good at just about everything, which is a very good quality to have. No idea if he wins this or he loses this. I'm not sure who's coming. Oh, this is losers finals, so he's coming from loser side. Okay, let's see what he does. Ooh, like that was crispy right there. And once again, we're going back to Pokemon Stadium. Oh yeah, that was a really good setup there. So something to remember that you can do against 2 frames is this little thing here. It's super cheesy, but it works. That. Like there's no physical way for them to not get 2 framed by that if they go there. All right, see you, bear. In that case, I would have liked to see the grab release there. Grab release you can. Yeah, you do not want to land on top of Joker. Yeah, he had the right idea there, but it's just like he didn't pull the trigger on that can to cover himself. Now, let me just double check. I think Joker was out of range with that gunman. I just want to be 100% sure. Yeah, he just got out of range there. But the hurtbox low profiling did help there. He would have gotten hit if he was a little bit further back, but Yeah, just out of range. What did he up smash punish? Back air. Oh wow. Yeah, you gotta dash away. That was just a call out on him. Are you talking about the can set up at the ledge, Rob? Because if it's that works on every stage. It's just if there is a ledge that they need to go to, the can's just going to wait there and cover that. So one thing that you're going to notice right now is like Sekai is not going for too many can setups. Because like I think he's trying to like find exact situations that he wants to use it in. I don't necessarily agree with that. Oof, yeah, that you can't whiff those. That works though. Now smash would have been a little bit better to go for as well, but you know, there's definitely the chance I would have killed. Something I should mention. Let's talk about this because this is happening a lot to Sekai. If you have the option to drift with Nair, and you're at like 90% or a little bit higher, make sure you drift towards center stage just because like the F smash can kill you. That was very ambitious. That was very ambitious too. And like see like there he was just going for like raw aggression where he could have gone for a setup so he had like a lot more guaranteed covers right there. Very good coverage. All you're trying to go for in that instance is you're at worst you're just trying to go for a trade. Yeah, he didn't cover that properly. He got so lucky with somebody like hurtbox interactions there. You need a breakdown of what just happened. I'll be more than happy to do it. Kind of straightforward though. It's just like he was on all the sides where the hitbox wasn't. Yeah. So something to keep in mind here. Let's break down this because he kind of really messed up here. Okay. Jumping was the worst thing he could have done. And not obviously because he called him out and all that. Like that's whatever. He just got bread. But Joker, like outside of the guns and back air space, he doesn't have a safe way to deal with shield can. So if he's facing forward, shield can's gonna win all those interactions. Let's just go back to the visual hitboxes real quick. What am I doing? Treating it like I'm in game. Hold up a sec. Let's go here. Fair. Okay. So even with Arsene, the thing to remember about this, even if it hits this, the explosion of can is still going to cover that. We'll show it off to you real quick. See, so like this is the can explosion, and then this is his leg hurt box. So even if you hit it with like the very tip of the edge, which probably is not going to happen, the explosion is still going to hit him here. So shield can's going to beat this. Bear is like the only time because like if he spaces it, like I think the can explosion would probably get to. You could most of the time it should work, but I think if he spaces it at the very edge, he should be safe. But like if he spaces it at the dagger, can explosion will hit him. But like fair, that's losing to shield can. So if Joker is facing in front of you, shield can is gonna win. Back air is really his only option to get around that. So with that in mind, just shooting around the can would have just been much better to do than everything else he tried. And that's the other thing too is he did have the can ready there. He probably wanted to reset it so then that way he would have it to recover himself. But like the fact that he could have just plopped that down at any time to cover means he should have probably waited. Because what you want to do is you just want to cut off when you see the opponent coming towards you. A little bit more patience on that. Jab block's super niche. Basically you're gonna lock with Nair and then like do double jab, and then you have to know what characters you can hit with CP on the ground. When you know that, then you can do some good things. Yeah, that's kind of what it comes down to. Clay pigeon combos is your most optimal thing to do. If you can't do that, you can do landing dare to get some things, but generally speaking, that's not going to do the most. Down tilt's not too bad. And then also, if you just need stage positioning, then, go for either down smash or F smash. Down smash is going to be way more easier to hit, though. Oh, and I just realized. Rob, thanks for the follow. There's a lot of people that followed. I just realized I need to turn on my... I have to turn on my... I did not turn on my notification thing. What the? There we go. I'm surprised it wasn't working. Okay, now it should work. All right. There we go. Let's get back into it.
3, 2, 1, go!
Wait, now the chat disappeared. What the? I do not know what's going on. Okay, well, let's go. I can at least still see you guys. That's the important part. So yeah, now we're going to Battlefield. This is actually the first time we see this stage for this matchup. Which, when you play Battlefield, you really want to use your cans to control platforms and center. I'm surprised he did that. Like, Sekai's just going in right now. Yeah, that was bad. Like, he could have done so much with his can right there, but he just decided to just keep going in there. Yeah, so the issue that he had right there was, I think, first of all, he was too late. But the other thing too is like he did the short hop, so the hitbox for Dare wasn't even wasn't able to hit him there. But it is a very good setup to do. You do need time to set it up though. Yeah, see, he's not watching the Rebels Guard there. I mean, obviously this is still from October, so this is fairly old at this point, but you just need to have that ingrained in yourself. Whenever you hear or see Rebels Guard come out, have patience. Yeah, you got unlucky there. So yeah, got some anchor can shenanigans ready. See, like there he could have done the jab lock setup, but he wasn't ready for it. Really good awareness the second Doggo's part, but now he's dead. Like that was, he had to go for like a down air there. This is gonna hurt. Oh, this is definitely gonna hurt. Yeah, you can't panic when you're in a situation like that. And, oh, he even missed the can. He even missed the can out there. That was depressing. Sometimes there's just nothing you can do about it, though. Yeah, it's like, again, I don't think that's a bad stage. Like, you're able to control a lot more of what he can do while he can safely pressure you, but it also, like, limits the ways that he can land on top of you safely. Like, there's so much you can cut off for him. Like, I would say that's probably, like, another even stage, because, like, you know, granted, he'll get a lot of nice combos off of that. Even off, like, the top platform, he can do a lot of really interesting things that can catch you off guard. But, like, as long as you're comfortable on the stage, you're going to choke out a lot of things that he can do. Let's see what Sekai Doggo does for... I don't know how much longer it goes for. Glad he didn't give up on the stage though, just so you guys get to see more of it. Yeah, there we got the patience finally. It took 3 games, but you know, it's not too late at least. That was a really good delay on the for the up B. Oh, he didn't air dodge. Yeah, if he air dodged up, he would have lived. That's it's so important to make sure you have your text down so you can just like maximize everything you can do. A little bit off on that can. That was just good awareness by Cross right there, knowing he could just do the side B and mess with can. Really good aiming by Sekai right there. So, let's talk about this setup real quick. There's actually a lot of layers to it. Okay. So, down throw. If there's no DI or you DI in, you can down throw to up air as a true combo from like 120 to 140 and it'll kill. Very, very good setup to know. When you ping can, like to end up in this area, 99% of people will DI in. Like they're too afraid to die. So when that happens, generally speaking, you'll be able to just jump and get the up air, and then of course if they don't, then the can's gonna hit them and kill them. So really good one to know about. Let's get some water. Of course, wave bounces are always very nice and tricky. It's always better to land with Nair just because a constant hitbox can always has a chance to just stuff out your opponent. So never underestimate the power of that. Yeah, that was spooky. See, so this is always going to be the nice thing about having projectiles is that when they reflect, it's going to be a reflector property on the counter. It is not going to be a physical hitbox property. So if you are right next to them and shielding, you're going to be able to auto punish them, and you do not have to worry about that at all. Especially since we don't have like the strongest projectiles in the world, so it's not like you're like shielding a reflected Samus full charge shot. Like that might break a shield. Yeah, a little bit late on that. Yeah, Sekai Daga's doing a really good job of just holding center right there. But yeah, he messed up with that setup again. See, that's why shield poking is important. Yeah, there's nothing you can really do in that position. He could have thrown out a can at some point to like try and save himself. But let's actually look at that one shield poke he got earlier. Pretty sure somewhere around here. Yeah, so you can see his head is poking out right there. And if you look at he didn't ping it at all. If you look at the hitbox here. This is what it looks like in the air. So this thing is very easily able to shield poke if you're able to aim it correctly. So just is able to tap his head right there, and then that happened. So always keep shield poking in mind. Like if you're ever damaging, let's say you're damaging shields with like, cans, clay pigeons, gunmen, whatever. As long as you see like a little aspect of the hurt box out there, just know that you're able to fully take them out of their shield with that. So you can, if you get good with it, you can like, don't try to hit that with clay pigeon, but you could poke them with things like Nair, a little bit harder to aim with that one. Forward air, you definitely have the ability to do it. Back air, you can do it too. Like back air, you should definitely look for if you're trying to get the kill. Down air, unfortunately you can't really convert off of it in this game, so I wouldn't really bother with that. But yeah, forward air and back air, learn to shield poke with those, and you'll get a lot of really cool things off of that. Overall, definitely don't get discouraged on going this. This is one of those matchups where if Joker gets the things that make him really, really good, he's able to just kind of just snowball everything into his favor. No, please don't do that. Please don't always be pigeoning. It's the worst thing you can do for yourself. Trust me. But yeah, that's kind of it for all the VODs that we have. Yeah, unfortunately, as I mentioned, we literally have zero VODs, like zero high quality VODs of current patch Joker against current patch Duck, which that sucks. Because like the matchup did get significantly easier by that. Because like, you know, since we do so much damage, you can just drastically reduce Arsene with how much he was able to have now with the current matchup. And then we didn't really see the gun edge guards here. Like I remember Sue was really good at doing that against. He's really good at using that against Raito that one time that they played. So unfortunately, I couldn't show that. But now that we no longer have that, it's not really an issue anymore. So definitely we'll look at those things more. Are there any more questions you have about the matchup before I close out the stream? Like, please let me know right now. Before we wrap it up, let's go over the hitboxes one last time. Just kind of talk about everything again. Remember, Arsene, there are very few hitboxes that he changes drastically. So the ones that you need to know about that Arsene changes: down tilt, dash attack, up smash, F smash, forward air, back air. So 6 hitboxes. So forward air, back air, dash attack, and then up smash and F smash. Those are the ones that I would focus on knowing. Basically, it just gives him just kind of ridiculous properties on that, and if you avoid those, you'll be fine. It definitely has, yeah. The other thing, too, to remember is Joker is not safe against shield can unless he is using guns, and if he is using back air, and he has to space back air all the way to the tip. Otherwise, not safe against shield can. The other thing, too, is think bullets are going to be physical attacks unless he uses the very, very edge of it. That's the only time you're really going to get that like anchor cam property. And lastly, if he does any dodging with guns, it does add to the roll counter, so they will get more punishable. And I think that's going to mostly be it. We actually didn't talk about stages, so let me bring that up before we go. Of course. There we go. Okay. Obviously, Joker's able to kill you off the sides and the sides very easily. The top as well when he gets Arsene. So, blast zone wise, like we like to kill off the top, and we can kill off the sides fairly easily as well. So, on that front, it doesn't matter as much. Smashville, obviously, the horizontals are going to be easier, but because the stage is smaller, the from side to side is about the same. It's just center stage. It's easier to kill. But as you can see, kind of compensates that with the height over here. Yoshi's story, probably not going to be one that you're going to want to go to. No, not Yoshi's Island. Or story. Yoshi's story. Like, Yoshi's story is like a bit weird to go on in certain cases for us. But also it can make it so Joker side B is worse because of the slants. He can't hit those as easily. But on the contrary, he can be on there and then he can make it detonate a lot quicker too. But I would say like FD's pretty good because like that way it's harder for him to land. Yes, I'll be doing it for different characters. Like I'm going to be throwing up the polls, or I might go off the last poll to see if there was a second popular character to do one. I'm also going to be doing it for K-Rool as well. So let's see. Stadium. Once again, I want to highlight that the ledges here are very weird. So if Joker is doing the grapple under, if you nair him under here, it's really hard for him to get back to stage. So that's something good to do. Kalos, I wouldn't really recommend the nair edge guard just because they'll just go across the stage. If you want a longer stage to live longer, this is not a bad one to use. Not to mention you can kind of use these to your advantage as well. And Joker doesn't get those platform confirms as well. Oh, okay. That's good to know. Yeah, Lila, if you're comfortable on this stage, I don't think it's a bad one to go to, but Joker's going to kill you super early, as you can see. Like, the horizontal blast zones on that one are they smaller than Smashville? They're about the same. Yeah, it's not... Lila's a nerve-wracking one to go into. Town City. As you can see, the horizontal blast zones are a lot closer. The other thing too is the vertical blast zones are so much shorter on this one, so you can kill with down air a lot quicker. But then he can kill you with down air a lot quicker too. But it does become harder to kill him off the top. Yeah, so overall, my picks for stages to go to would be FD, Smashville, Battlefield, Kalos, and Town and City. Those would be the 5 stages I would choose. The size of the stage would come down to your preference and what you like to do, and then also watch the way that they like to maneuver as well. Yeah, now you don't really have to worry about downwards guns. You could just hit them from the side. It's not that big a deal. Even before, as long as you were horizontal with him, you were fine. Yeah, like he really can't do much with that. Like you'll control a lot more. I suspect that when you fight a Joker, they're gonna ban FD against you. But if not, practice that one. That's a good stage to practice. Stages I wouldn't go to. If you learn Yoshi's story, then that may not be as bad, but like, I don't know. There's too many janky things. And with the walls, I feel like walls help out Joker a lot more than they'll help Duck Hunt. But of course, you do get the wall jump off of that. Lilat, if you're good at that as Kinky mentioned, that does mess up his grapple hook, so that might be a good one to go to if you can do that one. But yeah, Pokemon Stadium's very neutral. Smashville's very neutral. Battlefield's very neutral. Kalos would probably be our favor, I would say. Town and City, probably a little bit more our favor as well, since he has to go in against you. And that will cover it for the stages. I'll try to write a little document on it, and I'll do a recap video on this too. Because like the way this was streamed is definitely a little bit not friendly for YouTube, but I'll post the full thing on there for anybody that wants to watch it. Yeah, like I think the more space we have, the better it is for us. So, yeah. Any other questions that you guys have before I close out everything? This is the time to ask. All right, it looks like that is going to be it then. So with that said, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you guys were able to learn some stuff from this. Hope you found it helpful. Honestly, the matchup was just like slightly out of our favor. Like the thing that was kind of annoying was how long our Sen lasted. Even the guns were not much of a problem if you knew how to deal with them. It's just like if he was right over you, you couldn't do much about it. Yeah, like I would say it's still slightly in Joker's favor, but it's really not that bad. It's like I could see people saying it's their worst matchup, but like if you know how to fight it properly, you shouldn't have too much of an issue with it. It's just more of knowing how to deal with the speed. If you don't know how to deal with the speed, all those characters are going to give you trouble. If you do, none of them really will. Wow, yeah, that was a long time ago. Yeah, like if a Joker's good at getting their confirms on you, they'll do it. But as long as you know how to play the neutral, it won't be that bad. But yeah, so that's gonna do it for this one. I'll let you guys know if we'll do another poll for the next matchup, or if I'll just base it off of placement number 2. I think Cloud was number 2 for the matchup switch. That one I could definitely go over very, very easily. And also in honor of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Did you not watch this at all? Like, there are so many clay pigeon combos going off. Yeah, clay pigeon combos are a huge thing still. Yeah, not good against Joker just because of the way that the hitbox shifting goes. But yeah, clay pigeon combos are definitely good. Oh, okay, you just got here. Yeah, you're at the very end, dude. We're about to close out the stream. Sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, they're significantly easier to pull off in this game compared to Smash 4. Like, they're still 5 frames better than what they were in Smash 4. But yeah, so that's going to be doing it for this stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't worry, the whole thing is archived on Twitch, and then I'm going to upload this to YouTube as well, so you can see it there. And with that said, I will see you guys in the next one. So take care of yourselves.